Welcome back to my channel, spooky friends. Today's mask is the Lunar Legion mask. So happy with how this mask turned out. We're gonna create this, but before you get started, go watch the other Legion mask created last week. The Susie Stitches mask has the base for this Lunar Legion mask, and you'll need to watch that in order to create this mask. I did not include it in this one because it's already there and it would have been repetitive. So go watch the tutorial for the Legion Susie mask, if I could speak correctly, and then come back and you will be able to start on the Lunar Legion mask. Hell yeah. Make sure to go watch it first, or else you'll be like, how the fuck did we get here? I am so excited for these two masks. If you guys did not know, I actually do mask giveaways over on my Twitch channel, and both of these were won by 2 community members. I'm so excited to be shipping them out very soon here. You only have to be following on my channel in order to be entered into a giveaway, and be following the Discord to let you know when special event streams are coming for these giveaways. So definitely go over there and check that out because it's a lot of fun. I've given away 20 masks so far, ranging from Legion to Huntress to... what else have we given away? It seems like it's all Huntress and Legion at this point. Oni, things like that. So definitely go check me out there. Twitch.tv/SamJamEffects and follow so that you know when I'm live and when I'm doing giveaways. Fuck yeah. Let's get started on this mask, shall we? Okay, so for this mask in particular, what we did here is traced it out just like we did for the Susie mask that we created last week. And I'm getting started with laying down quite a bit of Mod Podge into the areas that I'm going to start around the eye. Essentially, what I'm doing with the Model Magic is I'm following the traced guidelines that I have with the Model Magic in little snakes of the clay, and then smoothing it out around the edges. It is so simple to follow that guideline to get the shapes that you need in order to lay the plaster down. You're essentially just tracing what you did with your pen. So I would say take your time, look at a specific image of the mask, go into Dead by Daylight, open up the game, go into a Kill Your Friends lobby, and really look at how the shapes are. We're tracing the outline of the eyeball, the stitches, the nose, and you're just following that basic shape the entire time. So there's not too much to talk about in these areas, honestly. This is going to be easier if you just see what I'm doing, but I don't use any fancy techniques here that I didn't use on the other masks that I've created. Essentially, you're keeping the ridges high and you're smoothing down the sides that don't need to be raised. And I'm following, I go eye, nose, stitches, and then mouth, pretty much. So enjoy what you're watching, and I will chime in if I think of anything else that I need to tell you about how I was doing the mask. But this one is very much the same type of principles as the other mask, for sure. A show! And it's okay if you lose a little bit of the detail. You can see in the mask itself, the nose ridge comes down, the part we're working on right now, and then it kind of goes away a little bit. That's completely okay, as long as you're getting those shapes there. Also, with the teeth area, you're laying down your foundation for the ridges of the teeth. When you put the teeth on top of this, it will probably get rid of some of these ridges that we put in there. So just adding another snake of clay on top of the tooth when it's been added is going to be probably necessary, and you'll need it. But don't panic too much about it. I mean, honestly, most of what we're doing with the model magic is just laying down shapes for when we lay the plaster down. You don't need to be too smooth with it because the plaster will be pretty thick on this mask. It's going to go quite a bit more places and layer on top of a lot more. In particular for this one, there isn't too much of a difference. The eye holes are a little bit more defined on this mask, mainly because I use chopsticks instead of skewers. So get some chopsticks. It's also easy to turn and pick up the mask while you're working with those chopsticks. I found it so amazingly easy, and I highly recommend it. For sure. For sure, Z's. I also did extend the jaw area after the teeth were added. So you're going to want to do that portion first. Slap a piece of model magic on the jaw before you put down the 2 large teeth. What I did was I put down the 2 large teeth and then I added the jaw and had to lift up the teeth, put them down, and kind of reshape them. I would definitely make sure when you get to the jaw portion to put it on first before the teeth. For this jaw section, I would have recommended doing the jaw before the 2 top teeth. You can see I lifted up these 2 top teeth and then put the jaw down and then put them back in place You can do that, but it would be easier to put the jaw on before even starting the teeth. It needs to be extended a little bit. It's too small on the end for you to get any sort of evenness from the top to the bottom. If this jaw wasn't extended, it would look weird. It wouldn't look right. So just make sure that you extend that jaw part. As for the plaster, this is the same as the Legion Susie mask. Take your time. You're going to cover the entire thing in plaster. When it comes down to the teeth part, just make sure to leave little gaps in between each tooth so that you have that texture and that dimension between each tooth. Be careful around the eye sockets, but you're going to cover the entire thing. And then wait 24 to 48 hours for it to completely dry before painting. You can then go over it with like an etching tool on some of the parts you feel you didn't get defined enough, but it's not necessary. Moving on to the painting, the base paint for this side was black and the base paint for up here was a brown color, and that was to get a difference in tones so that there is definitely a significant difference between both sides. So make sure to only do 1/2 black and 1/2 brown. The inside of the stitch area can be completely solid black as well, because you will be covering it for the most part. Just go over it with a bronzy kind of gold color, and once you do the gold, you can go back with black paint and draw in some dry brushing around some of the recessed parts so that you have more dimension to the mask. But this paint job was really easy. The brown side is just a brown base with a beige dry brush and a little bit more brown detailing that has been added in afterwards once the dry brushing has completely dried. But the paint is the easiest part of this mask. It will be super simple, quick, and easy. And then essentially the stitching works exactly the same as it did on the Susie mask. All you have to do is stamp out the little buttons, roll out clay, stick them on the exact same way, and then paint them. And you have a completed Lunar Legion mask. I do, once I get done with the stitches, tend to go pretty heavy on the Mod Podge on the stitched area, because Model Magic has a tendency when it's really thin to get a little brittle. And since these are not being capped with plaster, they don't have that extra reinforcing. So I would say once you have all the stitching painted, go over it again like crazy with Mod Podge. Also, in this clip, you do see me using a paper towel. I've wetted that paper towel and I'm wiping off some of that beige so that there's a lot of scraping texture that you're seeing. Instead of going over it with more brown, I'm just taking away some of the beige so that it shows through. I also dipped the paintbrush in a little bit of water and did that same thing in certain areas around the eye and whatnot. But yeah, the stitching is the exact same as the other tutorial. We're just taking the Model Magic and you're rolling it out and making little tiny circles and placing them on the mask. Just remember to do all of the stitching first and then come back and place the buttons. That will make your life so much easier than trying to do one stitch. Then you add a button, and then you're like, oh god, the stitch attaches to another stitch, and I added the button too soon. That's what I did when I first made this mask, as you can see in my previous tutorial. But once I realized how much easier it was to add those buttons last, it was zooming. And you can also flatten out each section, as you can see what I'm doing here, is really flattening it out when they are connected. And then the exact same thing happens with this mask in terms of painting. You're going to go over every stitch and every button in black as a base coat. And then once that's dry, you can dry brush the different colors of the buttons and add a little silver overlay on top of each stitch. Not too shabby, Lunar Legion. Not too shabby. All in all, I would say that this entire project would take you, with the 24 to 48 hour dry time, only a few hours. The Legion masks are super simple, and I believe wholeheartedly that anyone could make this mask and make it look really beautiful. Just take your time, and if you have any questions, you can come into my stream anytime and ask me. Say, hey, I'm stuck on this part. How does this look so far? Send me images on Discord. I'm totally fine with that. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I'm going to have a new Dead by Daylight killer mask every week, so please stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Next week, we're going to be doing the Huntress mask from the Ram version of it. I'm really, really excited. That mask is going to someone who I look up to, who's also a total DBD nerd. His name is Craig Mambit of Escape the Fate. He is also a Twitch streamer, so please go check him out. And also come check me out on twitch.tv/SamJamFX. I'm so excited to be sending this out to him and all of these masks being sent out. We do giveaways quite frequently for these masks. All you need to do is be following. Some masks are for subscribers only, but most of them go to anybody who is following, who is there for the giveaway. So definitely check that out. I would love to see you over there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so wholeheartedly. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Stay spooky, friends.